The Left Show is not intended for youngsters. It's not intended for the sensitive. It's certainly not intended for right-wingers. Use your own discretion. Awful sweary.
The network children ask for by name. The Defenestrate Media Network.
The world's greatest podcast network.
It's Monday in America, and you are listening to the world's greatest political podcast, J.M. Bell's The Left Show.
You know who the best-looking person sitting up there was? Who was it with the cowboy hat?
No, J.M. Bell.
J.M. Bell. I don't know who that is.
He hosts a podcast.
Here's the thing, he says for the millionth time on this, our 501st episode. Here's the thing. I build the intros.
I'm even wearing my 501s for our 501 podcast.
Okay, I'll put a pin in that because I'm going to come back to really bad jokes. Okay. So I build the intros. I don't listen to them again for like 2 years, and then I build another one. Right. Now, the second week in a row, I'm like, what a narcissistic dribble. This fucking intro. Jeez. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know I was the best looking up on that stage, but I have been writing that little soundbite for years now.
Yeah, that was the second con we did. I think it was the second one.
Yeah, with the adult, the Comic-Con After Dark.
Yeah,
and it was me and a bunch of other people, including Carrie, and then I was sitting next to Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. That was the one, and so and Rebecca Frost was there, and I think Taylor Hunsaker was there, and anyway, so Bill pretends that I'm the pretty one, who and also pretends he doesn't know who the fuck I am, even though I've met him about 100 goddamn times in my life.
Right.
Regardless, sorry. Next time I build one, I'll mention you guys. Maybe. I gotta pay the British lady more money. Mm-hmm. Isn't she great? She's wonderful.
Yes. She's lovely.
She really did. She adds to the show.
She adds a little class.
She sounds like my Siri talking to me because I have the British lady voice for my Siri on my iPhone. So she'll talk to me that way as well.
Very nice. I've got a nav, a sat nav in the Mazda, who I have nicknamed. Its name is Mr. Truck. Because it's not a truck, and I told myself I wouldn't buy a fucking crossover because I hate them, and then I bought a fucking crossover.
Yep,
and I don't hate it. So I named him Mr. Truck. But yeah, Mr. Truck's got a sat nav, and I have an Irish lady.
Oh,
don't forget to turn there on the left. Don't forget to turn there on the right. What's up with this Indian country? You got the fucking roundabouts, and. The thing is, though, it's like 6 or 7 years old. Poor thing. So it is a shitty ass sat nav. I don't hardly ever use it.
You should use Waze. I use Waze, and I've got they've got, I think, 3 or 4 different Dutch voices. So
yeah.
Globen.
The only issue I have with Waze,
turn right.
Yeah, the only issue I have with Waze is it waits until you're pretty much on top of the intersection to tell you when to turn. And so it's like you'll be driving along and you'll be in the middle lane because it's the safest place to sit.
Oh my God, turn right!
And it's like all of a sudden it'll say, turn right here. And you're on top of the intersection. You can't get over to turn right. It's like, fuck you. Whereas with Google Maps, it'll say, in 100 feet, turn right. And that's enough room to get over, you know? So yeah, it's just Waze
mine will tell me which lane to get into too, which I really like. It's like turn left and be in the right left lane.
Yeah, the right left turn lane. Yeah, I get that.
Maybe it's just my Dutch voice.
Maybe so. I get that with Google Maps, but Waze we were recommended to use it when we were in Los Angeles, and I eventually had to turn the fucker off and switch over to Google Maps, which then got me where I needed to go. Because I didn't get told to turn it the last fucking second, especially in Los Angeles, which is not an easy city to drive around, you know? Yeah. Since I'm the one who looks at a calendar, because there's one right behind my computer here, today, the day we drop, happy International Women's Day. So happy International
I
Women's
love
Day, Clarity.
International Women.
Yes.
Thank you.
No,
Slap on an accent. I'm delighted. No, International Women's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Super important day. They deserve an International Women's Month.
Yes.
I mean, they have an International House of Pancakes. Can't the women get something?
Something, right? So
just
say thank you to the important women in your life tomorrow.
Thank you, Clarity.
Or just pay us an equal amount. That would be nice.
Wouldn't that be fucking awesome? Pass the ERA. Yeah, pass the ERA. Utah. Yeah.
If we pay you the same, it's going to come down to a coin toss. Which pandemic parent has to quit their job?
I'm okay with this.
No, look, how would it be? How would it be to have enough money coming in that one parent could quit working? You basically just have to put like binders on the kids' feet so they can't run very fast, and then hope they don't light the house on fire while everybody's at work. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's one option.
We
don't managed to get
kids?
Away with. Oh, you time a tap.
Here's the iPad. See it in 8 hours.
Okay, so Keanu Reeves wrote a comic book.
Yes, he did.
Keanu Reeves wrote a comic book without
vowels.
Yeah, with no vowels.
Berserker.
And I was talking to somebody about it yesterday. I was trying to talk him into buying it. And he's like, I don't know, man. Is it good? And I'm like, you know what? I haven't had a chance to read it yet because I hadn't. I have since read it, and it is good. Mm-hmm. And I said to the guy, look, you're either going to read it and like it. It's an excellent adventure. Or you're going to read it and hate it. And it's just a bogus journey. At which point, Charles looks at me and he's like, you should be ashamed at yourself.
I'm actually quite proud of that pun. That's very well done. It's that one launched the same time I launched the first Shaolin Nun Kickstarter back in,
and took all the money in the room.
Yeah, I launched it back. I launched that one back
Keanu.
in July or August, and we closed out in September. And Keanu showed up. They did over $1 million in their crowdfunding campaign for that book. Not that they needed it. Not that they needed any of that money, really. No. But they did it to build buzz and build up their audience, which was brilliant. And it sucked all the air and money out of the room. And although I was able to fund my first Kickstarter with Shaolin Nun, that was one of those that I was like, God damn it! Now you just took away everybody who has a chance to pay attention to me, because everybody's going to be looking at you, the great big good looking guy over there, Keanu Reeves.
Bogus.
We are right now, as of the day as of the day this drops, will be 4 days from closing our second Kickstarter campaign to fund issue number 2, and we're at 57%. So please and thank you, come on over and help us out. If you're listening to this before, I'd say the 12th of March. We close on the 13th, but I think we close early in the morning on the 13th. So if you can help us out, if you hear this by the 12th of March, please jump in and help us. Any little bit helps. Any little bit counts. And if I have to restart, please come back.
Tell them how to find it again. Go to Kickstarter.com, type in the Shaolin Nun
Mm-hmm.
Shaolin Nun, SHAOLIN NUN, and that'll get you there. If not, you can find it on the Facebook. You can find it on the episode over at thecomicbookpodcast.com. It is available. So come on, be a sport.
Be a sport. You can go to shaolinnun.com and there will be a link right at the top of the
We got
webpage.
links. We got links. There's so many links.
There's so many places you can go, and if Googling doesn't work for you, you can find it in many, many ways. I mean, it's pretty much how we have to do these things now. None of us are independently wealthy. You don't really make money doing comic books. It's not a money-making biz. It's a chance to sell your story and get your story out in front of people. And it's something it's a story I've wanted to tell for a long time. And this is the only chance I've got to fund it, because I have my artist has to eat. The artists who support him have to eat.
Oh no, we don't.
Everybody's got to get some. Everybody's got to get a little money. Yeah, who needs food? Somebody was like, "What are you out here begging like a homeless person?" They were teasing my artist about it, and they're like, "What are you begging like a homeless person for?" I'm like, "Well, if I funded this myself, I'd probably be homeless very quickly. Does that count? You want to support the homeless over us?" Yeah, I don't know. I got to tell you guys though. I mentioned this on the comic book show, but I've been staring at this particular first issue for months now. You know, as the artwork comes in, I'm looking it over, giving notes, or just sending it on to the next person in the chain who's got to work on it, and finally assembling it into a book. And the whole time I've been looking at it off of a monitor, you know, probably a 1080p monitor. I don't think it's that high quality. It's certainly not no 4K thing or anything like that. I got the prints back this last week for the first issue to send out to all my backers for issue 1. And I got to tell you, there's a big difference between looking at it on the screen and your eyes unfiltered seeing the printed page. This book looks gorgeous. And I'm not just saying that to blow my own horn. This one is just beautiful looking.
Put down that horn.
Yeah.
There's a camera on.
The bright colors, the solid line work, all of it is just gorgeous. And I found myself getting a little caught up in it because I'm like, this looks really good, as I'm having to autograph each issue and go through fulfillment hell last week to get it out to everybody. But yeah, it's a good looking book. And I think everyone, you should take a shot, take a chance. Take a chance on me.
No. No, I'm going back and erasing everything. Oh my hell.
There will be no ABBA.
That is a rule around here. Oh, it's in my head. God damn it. No, you stop too. I can do this by myself. All right.
Moving on.
Are we?
I don't know.
I got this.
That's our show.
Charming little piece. Yeah, thanks, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Shelling on Patreon. For Asgard. We're done. No, I got this charming little headline, from our own adorable international woman. When will it end? How a changing virus is reshaping scientists' views on COVID-19. Just
this
when you thought it was safe to go back in the water.
Just when you thought it was safe to take that mask off, Texas.
Oh,
no,
wow.
Texas doesn't count. Yeah. Texas doesn't count. Texas is where relatives have Texas. So fucking Texas. I mean, I was starting to put together the list of states that have decided to be fucking ridiculously dumb, and it was just like, no, I don't care. Yeah. I don't care. I'm going to wear my mask until September.
I'm like, we're one of them. We live in one of them. Yes.
Yeah. Ours is going down next month.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you guys are getting the vaccine 50-plussers now. Am I wrong?
Also,
starting
if you're
Monday.
fat and diabetic, you can also get it.
Yep. starting tomorrow, Monday, it is available for people 50 plus. I have been trying to make an appointment all weekend, and there are none available. That's how
keep
much
trying.
People are just
Get up
going
at
for
4.
it right now. If there are some, if I'm willing to drive 200 miles, I could go get the shot.
Do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's go on a road trip. Where's it at?
Yes.
I don't remember now.
Do it.
Unless
you can
it's
do a remote.
I will be getting the vaccine. Don't tell me do it. The vaccine's going to happen. I just need to have it happen, where I can actually get there and be done and have it over with. I still don't know. I mean, I'm kind of holding out. I'd like to get like a Pfizer injection instead of a Johnson & Johnson. For some reason, I just feel like the Pfizer is going to be more effective, but I don't.
We're going to talk about that a little later in the show.
Yeah.
I want the Johnson & Johnson because it's made out of abortions.
There you go.
Wasn't that what the Catholics said?
That's what the Catholics claim, yeah.
So if it cheeses off the Catholics, I am on fucking board.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is a long article that basically says we're fucked. You notice how folks in certain parts of Asia are always wearing masks? That is the rest of our life. I have believed that now for so long that I have started, as you guys know, I collect masks. I have many, many of them. Most of them
God, that mask with the mouth.
Is that a Trump mouth?
No.
Jesus Christ, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh my
like
God.
Trump's face.
Arnold Schwarzenegger from Total Recall.
Oh, it's Schwarzenegger.
Oh, that's terrifying. I would cross the street to get away from you, and that would keep me from getting sick.
That's fantastic. Not a tumor. I cannot breathe on Mars. Boy, we got show bits bleeding all over the place from show to show today.
Yep.
Look, I am not particularly proud of the roundup this week. We're gonna fight our way through this fucking hour. We're gonna do it as entertaining as possible Patreon as we probably can. But otherwise, man, what a fucking week. Jesus Christ, I just don't even know anymore how days to days works. And while we are mourning the loss of 500,000 fucking Americans, it turns out that the billionaire class made $1.3 trillion this last year on top of all of the billions that they already had.
God,
so
what would that fund?
You're funding a book, which is fucking literature and art all mixed together. Yep. It's like 2 museums in one. I'm over here trying to buy insulin all week. Was unable because the fucking insurance company is like, no, you can't have that kind. Okay, how about this kind? No. How about this kind? No. And they wouldn't tell us what was on the formulaic. They would just tell us what wasn't on it. Until we finally ran back around. I got the doctor and the pharmacist on the phone with the insurance company, and they basically just beat hell out of this person until they're finally like, okay, fine, he can have Lantus, the original insulin.
The one they told you couldn't have initially, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's just like,
but I don't want the government deciding what my health care is going to be and whether or not I can get treated. I don't want the government deciding that. But apparently we're just fine letting some corporation decide what you can and can't be treated with. It's not your doctor making the decision. It's not Jeff's doctor making the decision. It's not the pharmacist going, oh, hey, you're taking these 5 drugs. You don't want to be taking this drug. No, it's not people who actually know what the fuck they're talking about. It's fucking insurance companies doing it. And that's got to stop. It needed to stop 10 years ago, and it's got to stop now. And yet here we got Biden saying, "Oh, I still want to just make insurance companies do it all." Ugh.
I do get where he's coming from. The guy put in an awful lot of work on this shitty system. And it's kind of like when you got a car that won't run. The fucker's going. It's going backwards. It's going forward. It's creaky. It's bangy. It's blowing smoke. But you're like, I made this thing. I mean, I get where he's coming from. I don't like it. And the truth is that I know that deep down in his heart of hearts, he's got a public option waiting for us. But right now, with fucking Kristen fucking Sinema and Joe fucking Manchiin, and other pieces of shit that wear D's after their names, there's no fucking way to get it passed.
Yeah.
Oh, we keep jumping ahead in the news. Anyway, rich people made a shit ton of money on your fucking back. I'm mad this week. I've got the yellies. Here's a good one. You like this? Huh? Trump got the fucking vaccine in secret so that people wouldn't know that he got it. Because it's okay. I heard the best line I heard about him was he's a leader that basically asks his followers where they're headed and then gets in the front of the line.
Yeah.
And so he gets the fucking vaccine because he's not completely fucking stupid, but then he keeps it a secret because he doesn't want basically primary voters to find out that he did it.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you do? What do you do?
I'm over here thinking, well, of course he got it. He's like in his 70s. He would have gotten it a month ago, right? When
no, he got it really fuck back. He got it before he left office.
Oh, did he?
It was like Christmas.
Yep.
Oh, fucking outstanding. Well done,
Merry
Mr. Trump.
fucking Christmas.
Yep.
And if the article and the timing is right, then he lied.
Mm-hmm.
Flat out.
What?
It surprised me, but he said
he completely fucking lied. Yeah.
Your hands were wonderful. That really.
Yeah.
That was what did you? That was great. It's fun to do video because now I can see what everybody's doing. Yeah, and so while we've got that going on, we've got Idaho. See, I told you it's all the inbreeding states that we're going to be talking about this week. Not on purpose. I didn't go out looking for cousin loving. I just stumbled on accident.
It's just where all the bullshit's happening.
Which is, I guess, what a cousin lover would say, huh?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's it. I don't want to talk about whether I have hot cousins. So anyway, a bunch of Idaho parents took their kids out to the state capitol and decided to have themselves a good old-fashioned Nazi book burning. Oh, no. It was an homage to Nazi book burning where they burned their masks. And the audio was chilling. Hearing little kids basically run around like brown shirts, chanting what their parents whisper in their ears, whereas I, on my side, have to keep chiding my children for calling me bro. Bro. No, I changed diapers. I'm dad. I'm not bro.
I'm not bro.
Thou shalt not bro. But yeah, I mean, it's just this fucking week. Okay, so let's get a reprieve. Let's get a mild reprieve.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then right as we go to break, I'm gonna take a shit all over our reprieve. Okay.
Oh yay!
But HR1, the voting rights bill, the John Lewis voting rights bill, passed through the House.
Yay!
Do I have a lot of faith it's going to make it out of the Senate? I'm 50-50 at this point.
Well, so is the Senate.
That was good.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong. But House Democrats passed H.R. 1. Mm-hmm. It's the anti-corruption voting rights reform bill. This is the second time they've passed it. Because reasons. Mm-hmm. Republicans. Yeah. It's For the People Act. This is the Democrats' legislative priority. The America Recovery Act, or whatever the hell Biden's bill is, the Build Back Better Act. I can't remember what it's called.
Build Back Better, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but Biden's 1.9 for COVID relief is his priority, and HR 1 and S1 are supposed to be the priorities for the Democrats. Now the House, they got it done. But when you look at the fact that you got guys like, what was his name? Senator Johnson, who decided that he knew the goddamn relief bill was going to pass. So what did he do? He just made sure that we had to wait an extra couple of days. So he had it read out on the floor.
Yeah.
And when you look back at the Affordable Care Act, going back to my radio days, I read it. And then every day it changed, and I read the changes, and I kept current on it the whole time. And the more Republican amendments bled their way into it, the more difficult it was to see how this fucking thing could ever pass. And then it did somehow pass. And I had to wait another few years for
it passed with caveats because you had the delays that Orrin Hatch built into the fucking thing.
244 Republican amendments, I believe, was the number.
Yep.
And then Republicans are like, we didn't have any say in it. So except for the 244 fucking changes you guys made, you weren't moving commas around, you assholes. You were making sure that everybody in America got fucked so that you guys could pull in more thing. And I'll tell you another thing. I don't know that I have trust in these goddamn conservative Democrats to do the right thing, even though it'll mean they'll be out of power in 2 years. Because we will. Right now, the way things are sitting and they're moving right now, we're done. We took control, of which we have none, because we're not allowed to drag Joe Manchin into a back closet and smack the shit out of him until he gets his smart back. I can't hit
nobody even told me that was an option. Yeah.
It turns out it's not. They get upset. Capitol Police gets a little pissy when you leave messages that say that. But
if it was an option, I think the squad would have already pulled him into that closet to beat the shit out of him. Yep. AOC and the like. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was just thinking about it. I'm like, would I hate that? So you rolled your eyes at me, Clarity.
No, I didn't.
I don't know. Okay, so the next one has a little audio, which, as you know, I like. Hold on, I forgot while you were talking about the Shaolin Nun. I was going to play Hustle and Flow behind it, and then I forgot to do that because that would have been funny as hell. It's hard out here for a pimp.
It is hard out here for a pimp.
All right, I'm going to play some audio. Stand by. Because a thing happened. A reporter in a White House press briefing opened up their yap and said one of the phrases that Jen Psaki just cannot abide. And that is, most Americans are saying, or people are saying, or whatever. And Jen Psaki just, one after another is like, yeah, who? Where'd you hear it? Are they talking about it in the hall? What's the shit? So here's one where a CBS reporter decided to what's her name? Weijia Yang. Anyway,
but
listen.
A lot of Americans are saying that, the surges are happening under President Biden's watch after he reversed some previous policies. So does the administration take any accountability for what's happening?
Who are the Americans?
Well, I know you don't want our answer to him, but the former president just released a statement saying that the Biden administration must act immediately to end the border nightmare that they have unleashed on our nation.
Former President Trump?
Yes.
We don't take our advice or counsel from former President Trump on immigration policy, which was not only inhumane, but ineffective over the last 4 years. We're going to chart our own path forward, and that includes treating children with humanity and respect and ensuring they're safe when they cross our borders.
Look.
Fuck yeah!
I got...
After 4 years of the press secretaries we've dealt with, Jen Psaki is such a breath of fresh air.
Really is.
Oh my
She's
God.
really awesome.
All right, that she says, what Americans are you talking about? What Americans are saying this? Because again, it comes down to, they have to admit, well, it was the former president. It's like, well, he doesn't count, does he?
All right, new video now, so I get to interrupt and say, everybody shush, it's time to go to commercials.
Okay.
Everybody ready?
Happy birthday, America.
Hi, it's Olivia Munn with my shelter pets, Frankie and Chance, reminding you that when you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the Humane Society of the United States, and Maddie's Fund.
This week on the world's greatest comic book podcast, a Star Trek movie is coming from Star Trek Discovery writer.
To infinity and beyond.
Captain Marvel 2 may have Korvac as the villain.
FAP!
Lola Bunny lives with the Amazons.
I see it.
On TV, we will get one last season of Supergirl.
Okay.
Jupiter's Legacy is coming to Netflix.
It's not the one with Channing Tatum.
Paramount Plus is live. In comics, more comic book publishers are leaving Diamond Books for Simon & Schuster.
It's because it sounds so bloody posh.
Marvel will unite 4 generations of Captain America for a new series. And we review Daredevil, Noctera, Stray Dogs, Berserker, and ENIAC.
Those fucking lunatics in the back of their comics.
All this and Superman Goes to Marvel. Face front, true believers. It's the world's greatest comic book podcast, available Tuesdays on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and the comicbookpodcast.com.
No, I'm not kidding. I mean, if you guys look at the back of ENIAC, it is nothing but UPC symbols.
What the hell?
That's crazy. I love it.
Yeah, it's nuts. They're fucking insane.
Strong. The future's here and we belong. She can STEM, she can do more. Like build a rocket and watch it soar. Clean the oceans and make the world a better place. Oh, she can STEM, so can you. Find a cure, invent something new. There's no challenge in the world that she can't face. She can STEM.
Learn more at She Can STEM. A message brought to you by the Ad Council.
For some reason, you are still listening to The Left Show. All right, then, here's some more of that, I suppose.
So, last week's YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
It took a little while to get it through and to muscle it up, and it was way too big and yada yada. And there's no reason any of us really need to be in 1080p, to be honest. So I'll be going to a slightly lower to save file space. But it turns out that I was not allowed to try and monetize the YouTube video because of the 10-second Joe Cocker "you can leave your hat on" clip on either side of the commercials. Oh. And it's like, you're not in trouble. It's fair use. You're fine. You just can't have any ads. To which I'm thinking, well, if I wanted to put my own ads on, that would piss me off. If it keeps you from putting ads on, well, that's fucking fine. What a great 10-second sound clip to get you off my back. And I can't do what I want to do yet, so I went ahead and put a piece of music I owned instead. So, members of Congress, Republican members of Congress, left a massive evidence trail as they pushed Trump's big lie. This would be another great one we got, I believe, through Clarity.
Mm-hmm.
But Representative Zoe Lofgren, Democrat out of California, has published a massive report compiling the social media posts of every Republican who voted to object to the countering of certain states' electoral college votes on January 6th. Outstanding Representative Lofgren.
Yes.
Then President Donald Trump had hyped that the January 6th congressional objection effort after his last real hope of stealing a second term. And on the morning of January 6th, he urged thousands of supporters that he'd summoned to Washington, D.C. to march on the Capitol and provide some courage to members of Congress voting inside. Now, those of us who aren't fucking dumb understand that this is a constitutional formality. It is the reading of the names.
Yeah.
You know, and that's really it. Is it makes the states feel special.
Mm-hmm.
It makes, you know, and that's really it. It's a participation merit badge. Is what it is. Mm-hmm. You know, And we all know that. We all know that it has no goddamn power.
Right.
It's just the part where we say the stuff out loud. It's like, you know what? When the flag is flying and the Pledge of Allegiance is said, at the end of it all, that piece of cloth has no fucking idea what I said. You know? It just is what you do. And this is it. It is tradition. What is tradition? It's being peer pressured by dead people. That's what it is. Okay? All right. So, is that too much? Was that dark?
No, I like that very much. I'm going to be using that from now on.
Just peer
So
pressure
anyway,
from dead people.
A few reps made a shitload of noise. You know, Paul Gosar. Are you the what is it? The gatekeeper?
Gozer the Gosarian.
Right.
Yeah. Mo Brooks, Matt Gaetz, Billy Long are all up there. All of them taking between 120 and 176 pages in the 1900-page report. Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene took up only 94 pages.
Wow.
Yeah. GOP leadership tried to lend credibility to Trump's bullshit with reasonable demands for transparency and counting legal votes. Weeks of fighting words presaged the deadly attack. The right-wing media disinformation machine was a huge weapon, a paramount weapon in the hands of the dipshits. The 1,900-page document is a huge step towards accountability from Republicans' bad behavior. You know, it's like you've got during the hearing with the FBI guy this week, you had Mike Lee and Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz all really super worried that the FBI was looking at phone records. Very, very worried.
Yeah.
What was the metadata?
They question that a lot.
I can't imagine why those three in particular would be so concerned about that. I mean, if you've done nothing wrong, you should have nothing to hide, right?
The metadata shows where your phone went. Not so much what you said, but where you were. Josh Hawley was super duper worried about his fucking metadata and whether or not it was being cataloged, which just really lends to the theory that the fucker was places he shouldn't have been with, people he shouldn't have been with, doing things he shouldn't have done, and now he's fucking terrified that the FBI is going to find out because honestly, Trump couldn't even break the FBI. Almost. Nearly. You know. I just, Zoe Lofgren, great job. What a great way to use interns. No shit. I mean, that just tickles me to no end. Yeah, okay. So give me a sec. I wasn't ready. Sanders. This is from the Smirking Chimp. And there's very little doubt in my mind who sent this one. Bernie Sanders is making excellent use of his power as budget committee chair. I'm going to skip over the palaver on this really quick. But basically, yeah, do I think that Bernie would have beat Trump the first time around? Yes, I do. I thought so then. You know?
Beat him the first and second time around, I think, but yeah.
Yep. So anyway, the article goes on to explain that when I'm looking for the particular paragraph. One of the great powers of the Budget Committee is the use of reconciliation, which, according to the committee, is a piece of legislation that is written to bring about specific identified fiscal goals. A reconciliation bill, if passed and signed by the president, carries with it the full force of law. A bill drafted under the rules of reconciliation is immune to the filibuster and requires only a straight-up majority to pass. Keeping in mind that with my earlier metaphor, that with Joe Manchin, the dead person that's bullying him is Robert fucking Byrd.
Yep.
Talk about a guy that you just, that is the thing he said over and over again. And I only heard the media tag him on it once, was he's like, I'm just trying to keep the Byrd doctrine alive. Robert Byrd was a foamy mouth segregationist, racist piece of shit.
Why? What's so important about the goddamn Byrd doctrine that we couldn't make it better, rewrite it and make it better?
I think that we go back to the standing filibuster. If you would like to filibuster, you could stand your ass right there and you could fucking talk until you can't take it anymore. Everybody understands. In every other goddamn country that has a majority party that is supposed to be doing things and a minority opposition party that's supposed to be working on the blocking of them, this whole, I don't even know how to put it, this whole self-sabotaging unity argument of bipartisan bullshit. The job of the opposition party is to be a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then and to prove to the point to the voters the next time a vote comes around why they should be the ones making all the fucking rules. And the majority party is supposed to be the ones making all the fucking rules. They're the ones passing the bills. That's how it works. That is how government is supposed to work. Instead, we have turned it into this insane fucking party based on a relationship that really was not as tight as people think it was. I'm talking about Kennedy and Hatch.
Mm-hmm.
Or fuck it, even Reagan and Tip O'Neill.
Yeah.
We don't need fucking consensus. If Democrats have power, pass your shit. And if it doesn't work, you suffer the consequences in the next election. That is how government is supposed to work. It is not this, we need to be friends and cuddle all the time and make a goddamn party out of this.
It goes right back to your point earlier about the ACA. The Republicans were allowed to come in, amend the bill 200 and something times.
Yep.
And meanwhile, if they'd passed it, the original bill as it was written on its merits, where would we be now when it comes to health?
We would have had a public option.
We would have had a public
option. We'd have Medicare for all. That is the next evolutionary step to a public option is socialized medicine.
Mm-hmm. No, in Obama's defense on that one, he had to let the Republicans do whatever they wanted because they were the majority party in the House and Senate when he was made president, which is more of America just being fucking stupid. In every other country that has this, in every other country that does this, that has a democratic parliament of some form, it's a majority party, and everybody is from top down. It's all one party. That runs it, and then the opposition party comes in and does their thing to say, well, this isn't how you should be doing it. You should reconsider these things, and maybe they listen to them, maybe they don't. They don't have to. They are under no obligation to. They pass the bill and take the consequences for it. Yeah,
lunacy.
It is.
So anyway, the power of reconciliation is in the hands of Bernie Sanders now, and he has made good use of it. With the Senate tied at 50-50 and Vice President Kamala Harris standing as the tie-breaking vote, passage of President Biden's most important priorities. Other than that, would be fucking impossible. But Sanders and they call it a reconciliation tool. I call it a reconciliation hammer. You know what? Just beat that fucking bill through.
Yep.
He beat that fucking bill through. And so what do we get? What do we get for all of Bernie's hard fucking work? We get Kristen fucking Sinema dressed like a goddamn teenager at a goth show with some weird symbolic curtsy while she compares herself in form and action to John McCain and gives a thumb down with a curtsy. And I am supposed to take you seriously? Vote no. Vote no. We knew you were going to vote no. But instead, you made a spectacle that basically took a shit on the reputation of a guy who, with that same gesture, in much the same way, minus the curtsy and the skirt, kept us with some form of fucking healthcare for 30 million Americans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, you're throwing your arms around. Give me some words here, Clarity.
Oh, it's a podcast. Right.
This is audio as well as video.
Yeah, and she had tweeted before that it was a no-brainer that we needed
when
to.
she was campaigning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, she makes me nuts.
So she ran on the. She basically ran on the idea of increasing the minimum wage, and then when she had the chance to vote for it, she thumbed it down.
Yeah.
In a very,
what a maverick.
very, very stupid way. If you don't think that she's a hobby now, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just it. It's. I keep getting geared up to go after these Utah schmoes, and then one of my own does something like this. I was very, very happy to make Matheson a target for years because he was such a piece of human garbage. And now I got another one. I got to try and find somebody that can. It was dumb. It was dumb. And it was showboaty, and I'm upset about it. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm certainly not in the mood.
A little bit.
If you look at the video, you can tell I'm upset.
Considering you, sir, work how many hours a day, a week, and at a great gig, but at the same time you get paid less than this minimum wage that they're proposing.
Well, this morning, as I was watching the Sunday news shows, up pops fucking Joe Manchiin. Again, a guy I would like to just slap in the mouth.
Yes.
Not my typical "you're a racist" smack in the mouth that hits palm first. I just want to slap him. But he then gives good soundbite where he said, look, $15 an hour is too much in some places. I don't disagree with him, to be completely honest. I don't. He says, so you start with a base. Now he says $11 an hour. I think it should be 13. That's where we're supposed to debate. That's the room for debate, is what happens in between those dollar amounts.
Right.
He's done is say no, but he's like, you start it there and then you tie that to inflationary growth. Okay, you know what? Is it perfect? No, but that's a fucking compromise that I can get behind. Where was your goddamn blah, blah, blah about that horse shit before you and Kirsten Sinema decided to have a little dog and pony show on the fucking well of the Senate?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it turns around that Joe Manchin says that he would be just fine with a filibuster that was standing talking. Where the fuck was that when we're trying to get shit passed? Now, is he going to put his money where his mouth is, or is he just shooting off his fucking yap? That's what it comes down to.
This is something they learned from the last president, from Trump. It's like you shoot your mouth off in one direction, and then when it comes time to actually legislate it, they don't do a goddamn thing.
Right.
Because Trump was that way. He'd tweet out all this shit. He'd tweet out all this horse shit that you're like, oh my God, if that gets passed, this whole country's fucked. And then when it came down to actually legislating it, he'd back off almost immediately. And it's like, it's one thing to be a blowhard and then back off when they put reality in your face. It's another thing to be saying, no, I want to do this, and then don't do it at all.
Yeah.
When you're one of the people who are supposed to be making it happen.
All right, I got fun stuff.
Oh, good.
And then we'll get serious again.
Okay.
Oh, yay.
Now, this is just the funniest. This is probably the funniest link we have all week. But some U.S. faith leaders are expressing moral concerns about the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. This is what I mentioned earlier.
Really?
Their COVID-19 vaccine may offer the best prospect for protecting as many Americans as possible, as quickly as possible. But some U.S. faith leaders say they have moral concerns about the development. Unlike the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine was produced in part through the use of cell lines derived from aborted human feti. Because I guess the church leaders would rather we just threw them in the trash?
Yes.
Okay. So if anyone has the ability to choose a vaccine, Pfizer or Moderna vaccine should be chosen over Johnson & Johnson's, said the Archbishop Joseph A. Naumann of Kansas City, Kansas, and Bishop Kevin C. Rhodes of Fort Wayne, South Bend, Indiana. Naumann chairs the USCCB's Committee on Pro-Life Activities, and Rhodes chairs the USCCB Committee on Doctrine. This would be the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm not trying to make an easy, cheap shot here, but if you're really concerned about, morality, perhaps stop buggering little kids and get off my back about whether or not I get a vaccine based on stem cell science.
Mm-hmm.
It's
a thought.
It already happened, and yet,
or get off your goddamn abstinence only high horse and actually accept that kids are gonna have sex and get pregnant and start promoting birth control and family planning so that you don't have as many abortions. And
then Johnson & Johnson wouldn't have a vaccine at all, and then you could be fucking happy, you morally superior piece of shit. They are stopping short, though, of telling people to avoid it altogether.
Yeah,
I love that part.
If you don't have a choice,
if you don't have a choice,
please get vaccinated anyway. And I'm like, I think you've pretty much made it so some people won't vaccinate on moral principles.
Yeah, because did you guys know during his CPAC talk that President Trump told people to go get vaccinated?
He did?
He did.
Oh,
really?
It was a one-line throwaway in the middle of other abbreviation, but he said it, and no one heard it, not even us who would have been listening for it.
Right.
Mostly, I would guess, because of the shouted echoes resounding off the walls and through the ears and out the other ears of folks in the CPAC audience of like Ted Cruz screaming freedom after he made fun of AOC right after she raised $5 million for Texans to get them some food and some water. And then he, as far as I'm concerned, once again made himself a traitor to the states, a traitor to our country, when he said that Cancun was better than Southern Florida. I'm not saying he was wrong, because if there's one thing about Cancun, is it's not populated with Southern Floridians.
I just...
Sorry.
He's decided the only way to dig himself out of this hole is to keep digging. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, but basically they give him a fucking standing O.
He thinks he's funny.
He
Ted
thinks
Cruz,
he
you're
is.
not funny.
You're not funny.
You're not funny. You're just stupid. Really, really dumb.
Funny looking, funny smelling, but certainly not funny. Ha-ha.
Not funny. Ha-ha.
Hey, speaking of funny ha-ha. Sorry, I'm really trying to work my transitions today, and I don't really have a good one for this. But the Girl Scouts suspended sales outside of a marijuana dispensary after a huge misunderstanding with the mothership. What do you call the home base? What's the home base of Girl Scouts?
Council.
Okay, I like mothership.
Yeah.
Anyway, they went out in front of a dispensary to sell the cookies.
Mm-hmm.
That's
brilliant.
Smart.
That is smart. It's brilliant. Don't get me wrong. They could set up right out at the top of my steps, and they definitely have a customer.
Yeah.
I don't need. I'm a type 2 diabetic. I don't need pot to eat stupid. And besides, it leads to lesbianism.
Yep.
Yay!
Does it not? Doesn't those Girl Scout cookies teach lesbianism? Isn't that what it is?
They teach lesbianism, and all the money goes to fund abortions. That's what Girl Scout cookies are for.
So somebody at the Girl Scouts of America answered the phone, and somebody said, "Is it okay for them to be outside of a dispensary?" And the fuddy-duddy that answered the phone, because who the fuck else is working the weekend up there?
Exactly.
Somebody nobody wants around during the week. But, yeah, so they go, "Oh no, that seems pretty improper." And so the kids went home. And then they called back and they're like, "What the hell?" And somebody with authority was like, "No, that's wicked smart. Go sell in front of the dispensary. Put up 2 tables. Get them come in both directions. We got lesbians to make here." You think making a lesbian is expensive? No, it's quite expensive.
Planned Parenthood needs more funding. Come on, make it happen.
Yeah.
Don't you know what the secret ingredient is?
Stem cells.
Is that what makes Girl Scout cookies so tasty?
It is. They're made from real
good.
cells.
Do the gluten-free ones not have stem cells? Is that why they're not very good?
That's exactly why.
Gluten-free fetuses, yeah.
Gluten-free vegetarian. Oh, no stem cells in my cookies. How am I supposed to regrow this spine?
Oh, please
Sorry.
give one to Cruz, please.
It's yeah, I see what you did there.
He doesn't need any more spine.
I was making reference to a medical journal thing where whatever the goo they put together with the stem cells is, they put that in a syringe of some kind and they shot it into a broken back and it repaired damage and returned
Stem
feeling.
cells are awesome.
They really are. And as we know now, delicious.
Yes.
And they're delicious, apparently. Yeah.
Get them on top of French fries instead of chili. Stem cell
fry sauce.
Talk about fry sauce. How about dye sauce? Never mind.
Nom nom nom.
We're
I made it
having way
weird.
too much fun with fetuses.
That's the new nickname of the show. Fun with fetus.
Fun with fetus.
Hi, I'm fetus.
Oh God! All right.
I'm from Alabama, so it doesn't matter who my parents are. The Biden administration is going to let families separated under the Trump bad behavior reunite inside the United States. Attorneys for the families have asked the Biden administration to let parents deported without their children come back to reunify the families. And Trump's like, or Biden's like, well, yeah, that sounds humane. We do that now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and of course, then you have dipshits like fucking Governor Abbott down in Texas, you know, who just got rid of the mask mandate because he's a fucking idiot. Oh, and has already had his shot. Popping up during the week. Then he's like, somebody tell Biden that all these illegal immigrants coming across the border is carrying the COVIDs. Goo, 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 goo. Shut up. Shut up, Governor Abbott. Shut up. Just shut up.
Yeah.
Oregon Secretary of State has vowed. Yeah, no doubt. The Oregon Secretary of State has vowed to push for national popular vote. I agree with this. I don't know how she's going to pull it off, but good start. Let's get some more secretaries of state. Maybe in Utah we could get a secretary.
Fagan is awesome.
Shemaiah
Fagan. Mm-hmm.
She Irish?
Probably.
Yeah, take a look at that. It's Mrs. Fagan's bright-eyed girl.
Indeed it is.
Indeed it is. Oregon Secretary of State Shemaiah Fagan, who as a lawmaker championed the national popular vote interstate compact, has joined the advisory board in a movement that is pushing states to adopt the one-person vote system. Oregon Secretary of State, you know what? Tell you what, real quick, just a quick aside. Dear headline writers, I don't need the headline, and then the headline repeated in the byline, and then the byline repeated in the first paragraph. Because I could tell, Andrew Selsky, that you're getting paid by the word, lazy fucker.
Indeed
Jesus, makes me sound like an idiot when I read this stuff. Mick Fleetwood has reconciled with Lindsey Buckingham.
Oh,
and
thank
now he'd
God.
like to think that a reunion could happen. This is big news, man. It's Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
I like the Fleetwood Mac. I like Lindsey
love the
Buckingham when
Fleetwood
he
Mac.
plays with Fleetwood Mac far more than when Lindsey Buckingham plays as Lindsey Buckingham. Because he writes his own lyrics. Oh my God. Tammy Duckworth has called on the Biden administration to release the intel on the Russian bounties in Afghanistan.
Good.
Love her. Just two itty bitty pieces. But she's called on the DNI to prepare an unclassified assessment that will provide urgently needed transparency on this grave matter. In the letter, Duckworth applauded Biden for tasking Haynes with reviewing alleged Russian activity, including the bounties program. It is overdue. Obviously, it needs to happen. And like I do, my common complaint at work right now is, yes, I understand that there are 15 things that need to be done right away. Is there a way to prioritize those 15 things? Oh, they're all important and all need to happen all at the same time. I'm one guy. I'm just one guy. I will do my best. And I'm sure that Biden feels that way on a much, much more significant level than I do.
Oh,
Yeah, no, we talk about it all the time at work. It's like when everything that comes in is a high priority request, it means there are no high priority requests. They will be taken as we get them and worked on in the time that it takes us to work on them.
Donut Day.
Yep, we don't push them aside. We don't push anything aside if it's all high priority. You guys want everything done tomorrow, it's not going to happen. That's all there is to it. Yeah.
It is. All right, look, we're at the end of the show. We are going to break off here in just a second, and we are going to run over to Patreon. Patreon, you say? Yes, Patreon. Patreon is where we go to talk about things we don't talk about in front of the paywall, where only a very specific few get to hear. I mean, you guys, obviously we have no filter. Well, obviously I have no filter. But the truth is,
filter.
You are the filter. And
I am the filter.
You are.
You are the Brute Squad. But yeah, and over on the other side of the wall in Patreon, we loosen up a little bit. Clarity actually talks instead of just makes gestures at the camera. It's really awesome. And I think they're quite entertaining 90% of the time.
And it's so easy for you to join us over there on the Patreon. Just go to
Inexpensive.
patreon.com. Look
$5 a month.
Look for Defend Media, and there you are. $5 a month, and you're in, kids.
Patreon.com/defendmedia. Just do what the British lady says to do.
Yes.
She knows. Say goodnight, ladies.
Now, fetus free.
Good night, ladies.
No,
Good night.
no, fetus free.
No. Loaded with fetus.
Fetuses are free. Fetus full.
Fetus full.
All right. Hey, you guys watching on video? You know what time it is. Hang on one sec. I got to do the thing.
If you've made it this far, you might as well join us on Patreon. Patreon.com/DefenMedia. This episode and more always available at www.theleftshow.com.